Boys and girls, welcome back from spring break. So let me explain to you a couple things of what we're going to be doing. So mainly what we're going to be doing is going over a lesson or two a week, and then on Friday you guys are going to have some type of assessment. It's going to be on Schoology, where you could do it really as many times as you need to, but that's where you're going to be graded on. Also, what we're going to do is, because we want to stay with other classes, so we don't want to get too far ahead. So we're going to just review this week on area of triangles, go over that, and then next week go over parallelograms again. So you guys should be pretty good then for those assessments. The homework's a little bit changed, so you're going to need to make sure that you do that, and all the answers are going to be online for you to check. All right, so first of all, we have area of triangles, so let's go over that again. So with the area of a triangle, we have a formula, and that formula is 1/2 base times height. So what you need to do is find the base and the height. Well, the base and the height is always connected by the right angle. So what you need to do is try to find the right angle. When you find the right angle, then you can determine which one's the base or the height. The base is always part of the triangle. The height doesn't necessarily need to be a side. So on this one right here, the first one, you can see that the height isn't really part of the triangle, it's inside the triangle. Sometimes the height could be on the outside of the triangle. So if we look right here, I see a right angle. Once I see a right angle, this is the base because it's part of the triangle. This is the height. The height doesn't have to be part of the triangle. The base cannot be this though. This is not the base. Let me show you the whole thing, and the reason why it's not the whole thing is because this part right here, where's the dotted line, is not part of the triangle. Okay, so let's move on. Alright, so we went over base and height, and we went over the formulas. So to figure out the area of a triangle, you just take 1/2 base times height. So you write the formula. So I have 1/2 base times height, half times base, which is 10, times the height, which is 14. So what you could do is one of two things. You could go ahead and take half of one of the numbers. So I like to do an even number. So that would be 5 times 14, then a 70. Or what you do is you take 10 times 14 and you times it by a half, which means that you're putting everything over a 2. So what I can do right here is simplify. So there's 5, and this is 1, so it's 5 times 14. So either way, it really doesn't matter. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is just another example. So we have 1/2 base times height is our formula. This is the base right here. Let me just highlight it. This is the height right here. And the reason why is there's the right angle. So this is the base because it's part of the triangle. The height is right here because they're connected at a right angle. So the height, they tell you it's over here. They're not going to write it inside the triangle. So this is 9. So it's 1/2. 9 times 16. So I like to take half of 16, which is 8. So 9 times 8. And then it would be 72. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so for these, I'm going to do number 1. And then I'd like you guys to have a piece of paper and a pencil, and then pause when I tell you to pause, and then try number 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll go over it. Okay, so number 1, I find the right angle. What we need to do is identify the base and the height. So if this is the right angle, now you could have two different answers. This is your base or height, so AB, line segment AB equals the height, or the base, and then BC right here, line segment BC equals the base or the height. It really doesn't matter because they're connected at a right angle. Okay, you guys try number 2, 3, and 4. So pause it, and then I'll go over the answers. Okay, so number 2, I circle. First thing to do is circle the right angle. So the base is QR. It's not QS because right here, this part is not really part of the triangle. So it's base equals Q, line segment QR, and then the height is right here because it's at a right angle. It's SP. So the height equals line segment SP. Okay, next one. Let me just move this up. Okay, number 3. I find the right angle. Here's the right angle. So again, this is similar to number 1. The height can be AC or it can be AB. It doesn't matter. So let me actually do the base first. The base, I'll just make it AB. AB, line segment AB is the base. Let me just erase that. And then AC, we'll make AC the height. Now it doesn't really matter because you could do either way, and I should make that lowercase. All right, next one, number 4. So number 4, what I would do is real easy is CEF here. I would make that the base, and then the height I would go straight down right here. So I make a right angle. So this would be EF equals the base, and then the height, you should put a letter here. So I'll put G. So DG, line segment G, DG is the height. Okay, let's move on. All right, so for these, what you're going to do is you have 3 problems to do. No, actually, you have a little bit more than 3 problems to do. We're going to do these together, so I'm going to go over the answers with you. So what you're going to do is pause it, then hit play to see the answer. Okay, so you're going to find the area of each one. All right, go ahead and pause it, and then hit play when you're ready. Okay, first one, I write down my formula. So it's 1/2 base times height, half of the base, so 1/2, the base is 91, times, the height, which is 94. I take half of 94, so it's 47, so it's 91 times 47, and that answer is 4,277 yards squared. Has to be squared because it's area. Next one is 1/2 base times height. So it's 1/2 of 15 times 15, sorry. So I'm just going to multiply 15 times 15 because they're both odd. So it's 225 divided by 2, so it's 112.5 meters squared. Okay, next. You guys try these 2, they should be pretty easy. Pause and hit play when you're ready. Okay, next one is 1/2 base times height. You want to get in the routine of writing that, then you won't forget it. So we have half of the height, which is 2 times 2. So I'm going to take half of 2, which is 1. 1 times 2. So the answer is 2 inches squared. That was easy. This one's 1/2 base times height. So it's 1/2. The base is 15. The height is 12. I'll take half of 12. It'll be easier. So it's 15 times 6. 15 times 6 is 90, and that's 90 inches squared. All right. Let's skip number 3 and 4, and let's just do 9 and 10. Okay, so pause it and then hit play. Okay, so we have 1/2 base times height. So I'm going to take half of the height, so it's 87 times, that's 3, so it'll be 17. 87 times 17 is 1,479 millimeters squared. Number 10, it's 1/2 base times height. So 1/2 of 19 times 16. Take half of 16, so it'll be 19 times 8. 19 times 8 is 152 meters squared. Okay. All right, so these are going to be a little bit of a challenge problem. So if you can do these, great. If you can't, that's okay. So I have in Schoology there, you'll see challenge. So I'm going to help you with a couple of these real quick, and then there's more of them that you're going to do if you want to. It's just a challenge. You don't have to do those. Okay. So if you notice these labels are different. So I look over here, right here, and it tells me I need meters squared. So this is in meters, this one's in centimeters. So I need to make this into meters. So if I have centimeters and I want to get to meters, I go to the left 2. So I need to move my decimal in 700 over 2. 1, 2, and I get 7. So it's 1/2 base, base times height. So 1/2, the base is 7 now, times the height, which is 6. Half of 6 is 3. 3 times 7 is 21. So that one's going to be 21 meters squared. All right, you guys try number 2 and 3, and then I'll give you the answers. So pause and then hit play. Okay, so let's look at number 2 and 3. So 2 is 54, because what you need to do is we want centimeters. So what you would do is convert 90 millimeters into centimeters. To do that, if you have millimeters, so we're here at millimeters, and we want to get to centimeters, so we go to the left once. So I move the decimal over to the left once, so it'll be 9. So this is 9 centimeters. This would now be 9 centimeters. So then you could easily figure that out. This one, we want to convert it to yards. So 12 feet. You have 3 feet in a yard, so it'd be 4 yards. And then you could figure that one out pretty easily. All right, boys and girls, have a great day.